Happy Tuesday, my non-existent viewers. It is currently, it's almost 6 o'clock right now. I'm about to jump into the theater to see One Battle After Another. It's a new Leonardo DiCaprio movie. I know I'm late for this party. I know this movie's been out for like a few weeks now, I believe. But yeah, I've been really excited to check this film out. Leonardo DiCaprio is one of my favorite actors. And today being Turtle Tuesday, it's like, I talked about this in my skizzo rambling last night for Spooktober. I'm going to say it again here. Today is going to be a triple whammy, right? And I'm making it a triple whammy, with this, me reviewing One Battle After Another, and I'm gonna go home after this and then watch some more season 5 of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and review 2 more episodes for you guys. And I'm going to do a special list at the end of this video to keep up a top 9 week, because today, October 7th, marks 12 years since I uploaded my very first YouTube video, Scary Insect. Oh my gosh. Where has the time gone? 12 years ago, I was a freshman in high school, super excited about starting his YouTube channel right after his 15th birthday, and here we are now, just trying to pursue my dreams here in Columbus, Ohio from that, and it's like, oh man, I'm gonna shut up now and jump into the theater and see this movie. I'll catch you guys soon.
One Battle After Another is 2 hours and 50 minutes long, and it started by Paul Anderson, right? When I got home, I immediately took a shower because it's been raining like hell all day, and I was like, it was a really long day at work, and I had to just lay down for a little bit, and instead of reviewing the turtle episodes as I'm watching like I've done before in the Turtle Tuesday episodes, I decided, okay, I'm gonna watch the When Worlds Collide episodes of season 5 of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is a 2-parter episode. So hey, a special occasion, and then talk about the 3 shebangs. One Battle After Another is, as we're moving into the final, we're in the final third of this year, right? As of now, it's the best film that's come out since September. I truly mean that. Leonardo DiCaprio was this revolutionary. He and his wife were in this the French 75. It's they have a daughter together, and 16 years later, now he's a deadbeat drunk stoner dad, and his daughter, plays by Chase Infinity, I believe is what her name is. Yeah, the performances, stellar. Excellent. Leonardo DiCaprio plays this guy who's a total bozo, but he's a lovable bozo. The film successfully makes you care about guys who are fundamentally not the best people, and Sean Penn is in this film. Holy cow, Academy, wake up. He plays such a great villain. He's such a slime bag, and it's this film is definitely, it's not a film for everyone, not just because of its length, but I feel there's just so much that happens within its runtime that it's difficult to talk about, One Battle After Another without spoiling it. So that, honestly, I urge you guys to see this movie in theaters. I was looking around, to get ready for this review, just reading up on it online, and apparently there were some people who saw this film in an empty theater, which is really shocking, because for a Discount Tuesday film, for a Discount Tuesday for a film that's been out for over a week, my theater was pretty packed. I think it goes to show the power of the word of mouth. So if you haven't seen One Battle After Another yet, I highly urge you guys to watch it. It is Paul Anderson at his peak directing, and also Leonardo DiCaprio, the man, the myth, legend, and peak directing and peak acting with this film. And and as its name suggests, there's action scenes very top notch, and the cinematography was spot on. The film was excellently shot, good soundtrack too. Just what more could you ask for, really? I have to give One Battle After Another an 8 out of 9 stars. It's a fantastic film. And When Worlds Collide, so I'm so happy that we were. I was wondering what the end of the last episode with the fire dragon demon guy going back to the netherworld with undead super shredder. It's I was curious where season 5 was going next. The neutralizer and Lord Dreg have returned to invade Earth, and Mona Lisa and the other Salamandrian and Bishop all join the Turtles once again to fight off this alien invasion that's coming to Earth. And I love how the 2-part episode ends with the neutralizer and Mikey having a electricity duel. In a weird sense, it kind of reminded me of like Deathly Hallows Part 2 with Harry Potter versus Lord Voldemort, but instead of being like a wizard lightning battle, it was like an electric ninja battle in a weird sense, or electric ninja versus electric alien in this case, with Mikey saving the day, like thinking that he could the turtles think that he vaporized, but no, he has the electricity powers too, which unfortunately he has to revoke. But the episode ends on a happy note with like Mona Lisa apparently she's gonna join the Mutanimals, which is like, so she and Raphael could continue their relationship together at last. Which, yeah, I'm like, it seems to be that season 5 is gonna be a whole lot of just like random plots kind of just like woven together for the final season of this show, which it's like, it does feel kind of side questy, like, again, like Pokemon post game ish. I've said that before in these videos, and I'll say it again here, but honestly, I'm here for it. Really curious to see what happens next. And earlier today, when I was at work, I was thinking like, ooh, should I like, for top 9 weeks, since like yesterday for my schedule rambling, I talked about my 9 favorite dinosaurs. Should I do like my 9 favorite turtle facts, or like my 9 favorite like orders of animals? And I was talking to my coworker about it, and I was like, oh, maybe I should make a list of my favorite cryptids. And he was like, yes, Vitas, you should totally make a list of your favorite cryptids, because I think cryptozoology goes really hand in hand with Halloween since it's October, right? So here are my 9 favorite cryptids. Like my list of favorite dinosaurs, I included my Skizzo rambling last night. These are not in any like particular order, but I have decided to say my favorite cryptid for last. Now, just to reiterate, a cryptid is a creature that is like claimed to exist, but has not been proven to exist. Case in point, I have to start with one that really requires no introduction: the Loch Ness Monster. Which, the thing that really fascinates me the most about like the Loch Ness Monster and pretty much all other cryptids is that, to me, part of me just doesn't really care whether the creatures actually exist or not. I just find the whole subject of cryptozoology really fascinating. And while I do believe that it is healthy to be a skeptic, like for instance, there's been a lot of research on Loch Ness, and there's just not enough fish. There's not enough food in Loch Ness to sustain such a large animal like a plesiosaur, which people claim that Nessie is. But the history that I just find the historical side of there being like sightings of Loch Ness Monster really fascinating. Like, I read a cryptozoology book years ago when I was a kid about how when the Romans invaded Scotland, right, the native tribes people that lived around Loch Ness didn't have any sort of like writing, right? But they did have a lot of cave art depicting giant aquatic creatures in Loch Ness. So maybe at one point there used to be a Loch Ness Monster, but now it's gone extinct or something like that. Which, whether it be a plesiosaur or a giant fish of some kind, I mean, hey, there's the jury's out. Let's just say that. And my next favorite cryptid is Mokele Mbembe. Keeping up with, like the dinosaur list that I made yesterday, Mokele Mbembe, kind of like how Loch Ness Monster is allegedly a plesiosaur that escaped extinction, Mokele Mbembe is allegedly a sauropod, a long-necked dinosaur that escaped extinction by hiding, and now it lives deep in the African rainforest, where it's very swampy, and allegedly it's like bigger than a hippo, but maybe roughly the size of an elephant, and it's semi-aquatic. And the name Mokele Mbembe means the one who breaks the river, if my memory is correct. And I read this thing on Facebook, years ago, where it's like, because I've been in quite a few cryptozoology groups, right? And someone commented how there was a research study about how when people visited various native tribes in the Congo rainforest, they were shown pictures of various animals. Keep in mind, these people have never had electricity or internet or any knowledge of animals outside of the African rainforest. They were shown pictures of animals not from Africa, right? So oh, we don't know what that is, we don't know what that is. They were shown a photo of a long-necked dinosaur, and they were like, oh yes, we totally have seen that, which is ooh. Like I said, there's so much, there's a lot more to this world that we have not explored yet, like our rainforests. Case in point, if there are still uncontacted tribes people living in the Amazonian rainforest and in Papua New Guinea, who's to say that there isn't a large creature waiting to be discovered in the Congo rainforest? Heck, even gorillas and okapis, for example, animals that I've worked with at the Columbus Zoo, were like the stuff of legend at one point, and now we know for sure they exist. So maybe Mokele Mbembe is out there. And this one hits close to home for me because I was born and raised in New Jersey, the Jersey Devil. Like I said, I'm not like, I can't really say I'm a believer in the Jersey Devil but I just find the historical side of this creature to be so fascinating. The Jersey Devil, like in the 1700s, this lady was pregnant for the 13th time, and she said, "Oh, let this one be the devil. Huh. Ask and you shall receive." The baby was born, and the baby immediately transformed into this horrible, like, goat monster with wings, and it flew through the chimney, and it's allegedly been haunting the Pine Barrens ever since. And yes, apparently it's where the Jersey Devils, the hockey team, get their name from. And my next favorite cryptid, going from New Jersey, my current state live in Ohio, is the Loveland Frog. Yes, I dare you guys look this up. Apparently, there is a cryptid of giant magic frogs living in central Ohio, or like the lakes and rivers of Ohio. Just look it up, it's hilarious. And I also have to give a shout. My other favorite cryptid is the Thunderbird, which debatably is like a cryptid, that people have had sightings for, but like the Thunderbird is extremely significant in a lot of Native American legends and myths, especially Northwestern, like Native tribes. Like I always loved reading about the legend from the Quileute tribe, how the Thunderbird saved this village, from starvation by like going to the ocean and just dropping them like a giant whale for the tribe to feast on. It was like seen as both like a force of nature, like a giant bird that was like when, this is how they explained like thunderstorms back in the day. When it flaps its wings, it creates thunder and it could shoot lightning bolts out of its eyes. And also there have been sightings, whether it is like this terrifying monster or benevolent force of nature, it can swing like this. I feel like this thing swings in both directions. And it goes to show like, what do all these like legends and myths say about the human condition? Like, and also, fun fact about the Thunderbird, it was the inspiration for Zapdos in Pokemon. Kind of like how the Firebird from Russian, folklore was the inspiration, or Slavic folklore was the inspiration for Moltres. And Rock from Persian mythology is the inspiration for Articuno. Like, yeah, lots of Pokemon based on mythical creatures. Just a heads up. And lastly, my last 4 favorite cryptids, I decided to clump these all together because I include them in the Big Feet family. And yes, my plural for Bigfoot is Big Feet. Just like how there are various depictions of dragons all around the world, right? In various, whether it's from China or Europe or wherever else, every culture has its own like magic reptile of some kind that like either flies or breathes fire or whatever else, or is huge. Every culture seems to have its own take on a large bipedal primate living in the forest. Case in point, my 4 favorite like species of Big Feet, my 4 favorite Bigfoot cryptids are the Sasquatch from North America, the Yeti of the Himalayas, these 2 require no introduction obviously, and the Yowie from Australia, and the Skunk Ape from Florida, which the Skunk Ape, I think out of all the cryptids that exist, is my personal favorite because I may or may not have my own experience with the Skunk Ape. My dad and I might have our own experience with this creature because my grandparents on his side of the family were in Sarasota, Florida, and I watched a lot of Monster Quest. It was a show that was on the History Channel back in the day. They did an episode covering the Skunk Ape, and the Skunk Ape was the most out of all the different parts of Florida. The spot with the most sightings was Mayaca State Park. My dad and I were like, "Holy cow, we've been there!" because our grandparents lived nearby Mayaca State Park, so we brought our video camera. We spent the whole day walking around the park looking for. Obviously, we couldn't go too deep into like we couldn't go off the path, but we wanted to see if we can find this creature for ourselves. At the end of the day, in the parking lot, we find this giant handprint buried in the sand. And my dad is like, Vitas, look at this giant handprint that I found. At first I was like, yeah, right, Dad, you're still just like putting your hand in the sand just to fool me. That's not the Skunk Ape's handprint. Keep in mind, I have really big hands, and my dad's hand is like bigger than mine. Not even my dad's hand could fill this handprint. So maybe it could have been, maybe it was like, to this day, my dad swears that he did not leave that handprint in the sand. It could have been some other tourist pulling a joke on us for all I know. But hey, maybe that was a skunk ape like marking his territory or something like that. Again, I think just like the Thunderbird, you know, being like an interpretation for thunderstorms, what does like Bigfoot and all the different interpretations of like all different types of big feet, as like to say, around the world say about like the human condition and like things that like maybe regardless of like what part of the world you're from, what time period, or what like, you know, other like your identities, like regardless of race or religion or gender or whatever else, we all have things that tie us all together, and Bigfoot is in a weird sense one of them. And as the late Jane Goodall once said about Bigfoot, may she rest in peace, she said, "I'm a Bigfoot. When it comes to Bigfoot, I'm a romantic. I would like Bigfoot to exist." There are people, she like, you know, it's a really great quote from her about Bigfoot, so you guys should look it up. So yeah, there you guys have it. My reviews for one battle after another, and you know, for the When Worlds Collide dual-parter episode in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Season 5, and of course my 9 favorite cryptids. Thank you all so much for joining me, for being a part of my journey the past 12 years on YouTube. Like, whether you've been subscribed to my channel, whether you were like one of the 2,000 subscribers that subscribed to my channel within the past year, or if you're one of my old school subscribers that has been, watching my videos since my freshman year of high school, or anywhere in between during like my high school years, my college years, or like, you know, the start of my post-college life, from the bottom of my heart, I give my thanks. And yeah, stay tuned for more videos coming soon this Spooktober. Thank you so much for watching, and I need to go to bed. Have a good night. Stay beastly.